welcome into the Flame Central Game Day post-game show presented by Frank Good Builders. 48-42 Kennesaw State, the final score here in a game that saw 955 yards of combined offense for both teams. Here alongside Rhett McGibbon and Pat Kelly, I'm Annette Corey. And guys, you take a look at the season that Liberty has had. I mean, it's your third straight game, going into OT, losing it. It hurts to say, but it is a fitting way to go out for this team.
It just about, it wrote itself, I think. I mean, this was a tough way. It's the second, four-game losing streak the Flames have had this year. We're kind of limping to the finish line. This season kind of ends with a whimper, but a sad way to go out on this season.
Yeah, how many times this year have we looked at this team and saw like you've outgained the opponent? It felt like offensively you were clicking, but somehow they hung around long enough to be able to finish you off in the end. And like you said, Annie, a fitting way, unfortunately, for Liberty to lose, but that has been this season as you fall to 4-8.
Yeah, no one feeling that pain more right now than head coach Jamie Chadwell. Let's hear what he had to say post-game with Matt Warner.
Well, Coach, in some ways has to feel a little like Groundhog Day. A third straight overtime game. You get just that close again. What do you make of what you saw here tonight?
It was easy for our guys to not play, and just say no, we had nothing to play for. So we challenged them to do that, and I thought they did that. Now we didn't play great in sometimes, but, man, they played hard. They laid it on the line, and we had an opportunity to win it, 3 times, and just couldn't get it done. And so we obviously got to make some changes, to not go through this again. And so, I told our guys that the guys that are playing for the conference championship, we're right there, and we didn't play very well overall this year. So we need some changes to get us over the hump, but I'm confident that we will. But disappointed for these seniors. They wanted to go out with a win, and thought we had a chance to do it, and we just can't get it done.
No, it's a loss. 43 carries, 267 yards, 4 scores for Evan Dickens. What more can you say about what he provided you guys the last half of the season?
No, he's been great. I hope we can keep him, because he's been tremendous, and he wants to win, and we've got to do a better job of finding ways to obviously win games. But he's been tremendous, for where he came from when he first got here to where he's now. Being just a tremendous player, great teamwork, great teammate, and so he's had the last 2 weeks, 2 outstanding games, and unfortunately we can't get a W for him.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Best of luck as you move forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
We certainly hope they can keep Evan Dickens as well. So much fun to watch. He is our Central Virginia Credit Union highlight of the game. Breaks loose for a 95-yard touchdown. This gave Liberty the lead in the third quarter. And guys, when you look at the day that Evan Dickens had, he certainly made his money today. We don't know what the future holds for him, but what a showing for him to go out.
That was super fun to watch him. Brett, that touchdown run right there, I think you and I could have gained at least 20 or 30 yards. My gosh, that hole you could have driven an 18-wheeler through, but tremendous performance. And Coach Chadwell said it. You just hope you can keep this guy on this program.
Yeah, Pat, I'm going to give you props here. You're the one that said, watch him bust one open here for a touchdown all the way in his own zone. I was like, oh, there's Pat Kelly for you.
Here's our Bojangles game stats in Liberty. The rushing department, 291 on the day. Evan Dickens was producing 267 of those. This offense really had a good outing. Obviously, it was spearheaded by what Dickens can do on the ground, but you turn it the other way, this defense, they had a hard time containing Kennesaw State. That's why it ended up being a 48 final score for Kennesaw on their end.
Yeah, Kennesaw State passing game was delicious, as it has been all season long, and just finding the open spots. I thought Odom did a great job of just, again, spreading the love around. Let's go offensively here for Liberty. And, you don't want to be a downer too much in the last game of the year and that the season they've had. But at the same time, it does feel like it's a bad trend when you're outgaining opponents, when you have a performance like you did from Dickens, of 43 carries, which is crazy, right? And he's still rolling towards the end of things, and you can't come away with a win at home. And you hear Coach Chadwell say there's changes that need to be made. Yes, there's going to have to be some form of development's not the right word, but there's going to have to be massive adjustments in order to keep a guy like him. Because, again, everybody jokes in the NIL age that it's all about money, but winning is big. And he's going to want to win with the year that he's had, especially over the course of the last 6-7 games. He has last 6 games he has 14 touchdowns. Somebody is going to want him badly.
He's a good team player, and he, I'm sure, does not think this at all. But he could very easily say, I did my part. What is everyone else doing? So I do think it's going to be important surrounding him with guys that can also kind of pull their own weight and kind of punch up as well. But he did darn near everything that he could. But you're exactly right. You've got to have development on defense. the issues that we saw all year reared their head again tonight, giving up chunk plays, giving up deep passing plays. This receiving core for Kennesaw State had 2 30-yard catches, a 40-yard catch, and 4 touchdowns.
Well, especially in overtime, too. 2 one-play touchdowns that just, I'm sure, demoralize you in that time period.
And not a lot of production from this receiver room as well. I mean, the 2 touchdowns the 1 touchdown that came through the air was to Von Blue, who's a running back. It just feels like it's hard for this receiving core right now. I don't know if it's a gaining separation thing. I don't know if it's just a distribution thing on the quarterback's part. What are you seeing, Pat?
It's tough. What I'd start with is, you've got a new quarterback in there. So you've had Vasco a little bit all year, kind of a tempo passer. You've got a different guy throwing now. So there are going to be some intricacies there. But one thing I would say is hats off to Kennesaw State. They did a pretty good job kind of in the secondary, at least, kind of limiting big plays for Liberty. It's one of those things, it's going to take a spring and an offseason of these guys getting time with the starting quarterback. But, nothing really stood out. Kennesaw playing some off coverage and Liberty just not able to take advantage.
Let's take a look at the day that Amari Odom had for this Kennesaw State Owls team. This guy is tons of fun to watch. And I think the thing that kind of sticks out, guys, is halfway through this game, Jacksonville State, they secure their spot, and Kennesaw State doesn't have anything to play for at this point. But this guy did not quit. You didn't see any let up in the way he was performing, Rhett.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that a team just keeps going for it and they want to finish with only 1 loss in conference play. Why not? Why not keep the wheels going, churning away, and you head into Friday for the conference championship game full of confidence. But, man, great job by him. They picked their spots. They figured out which DBs they wanted to attack, and he was precise with his passing.
They went at some of these DBs for sure. And, looking at the numbers there, he had 4 touchdowns, but far from his best performance of the year, but he did what was asked of him, and that's what good players, good quarterbacks do.
And I thought he used his legs well too. So many times you get a quarterback like that is the dual threat. He's a big body guy. You think, okay, he might run more than he needs to. I thought he was really smart, wise with his decision making when to leave the pocket, use his legs, had 72 yards on the ground with another touchdown. He is going to be a tough one to stop. If he stays at Kennesaw State, and I hate having to use that word, if he stays, but it is sports today. I hope they can keep him because they've got a real star in the making on their hands. And, again, he's just a fun player to watch.
And real quick, guys, you look at that Conference USA Championship coming up, Jack State versus Kennesaw. Those are going to be 2 high-powered offenses. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just going to love to watch the game because it's one offense, Kennesaw State, that loves to throw the football. It's one offense, Jacksonville State, that loves to run the football. Right. So that's going to be a fun one to watch for so many different reasons. So I'm just going to watch the offensive scoring and watch. It's going to come out and be like a 6-3 game.
Let me give props really quick to Jacksonville State. You lose your coach to West Virginia. You have so much player turnover, and then you have a year like this. Like, hats off, standing applause. They've done a great job of rebuilding, retooling in just one off season.
Well, you talk about hats off. Let's give our final hats off to Evan Dickens, and not just the night, but the season that he has had for this Liberty Flames program. I mean, this guy, the cutbacks he makes, the way that he can go from 0 to 100 with his speed just like that. You really saw it out there tonight, and, props to him for coming out and fighting for something, Pat.
Yeah, he's patient. He sees the hole open up. When it does open, he hits it hard. He does a good job of leveraging his blocks inside, outside, and then he's got the breakaway speed. It's awesome to see him absorb contact, deliver blows, and not fall down. He's something special for sure.
You always say when Quentin Cooley left, you're not going to be able to replace Quentin Cooley. But again, Liberty goes out, finds a way. They bring in an absolute star in Dickens. And again, I know it took a little while to kind of give him the #1 job and let him find his flow, but I'm sure glad they did. And again, he is a real bright future in college football.
And you talk about you talk about Dickens needing some help surrounding him.
Yes.
How about Von Blue the night that he had? He had that 1 touchdown where you could tell he mistimed the jump just a little bit, but still makes a crazy athletic play, comes down with that touchdown pass. You could see him hopefully building off that momentum in the future.
Yeah, that's the aspect of Von Blue that just keeps you wanting more, is that you see the jump and he's too early, but he still has the athleticism to make that catch, make a man miss, and then get into the end zone. And again, if he could just stay healthy for an extended period of time, I think he could be a great 1-2 punch with Dickens. And again, this is what the offense is made up of, is running backs that have skills. You go back to Aaron Bedgood, right? I feel like he could replace Bedgood in that role, that had the ability to receive a ball but also play the B-back and get the pitch. Hopefully that continues on into next year.
Well, let's move on now to talk about the night that Michael Merdinger had. Again, Ethan Vasco missing this season finale with a shoulder injury. And, Merdinger, he wasn't asked to do too much, but what he did, he performed effectively. No turnovers on on the day for him. Pat, what was your consensus on his outing?
I think he needs more time. You know, I think he did kind of what was asked of him. Nothing that kind of going to blow your socks off or knock your socks off, but, you know, he made some of the checkdowns. He made some of the quick throws that he needed to. You can see where the timing wasn't quite there, so that's going to improve over time. But, you know, all things considered, I'd say if we're giving him a grade, I'd give him a C.
Yeah, steady Eddie throughout this game again, and not asked to do too much. I did say, though, he had a couple beautiful throws, like over the shoulder. We haven't seen those kind of explosive plays, I feel like, in the passing game much this season, so it kind of took me back a couple years to see those, in all honesty. But didn't turn the ball over, took care of the football. I think that I'd go B for him in this game.
You know, fair enough. I'll bump it up to a C+ for you, Rhett.
No bell curve.
Now, as we start to round things out here, let's take a look at the season that was for this Liberty football team, brought to you by Courtyard Marriott. Not the season anyone was expecting or hoping for. You learn a lot through the process. You hope things are different going forward.
Yeah, you certainly do. Definitely got the bright spots in there. The thing that really kind of chaps my hide a little bit is, you know, you lose that in-state battle between, you know, JMU, ODU. It's going to be so important from a recruiting and a portal perspective to be able to win those games. It's obviously water under the bridge. We're past that now, but definitely a lot of things to build on. And it's going to take some pretty big playmakers to do that.
Yeah, it's going to take a significant effort now in between next fall in order to get this team back to where they expect to be. And I think that's the truth of the matter. If you're Flames Nation, if you're a Liberty fan, if you're a person that works here like we do, you look at this schedule, and this is not the standard that Liberty football wants to be at or expects to be at. They are the team that expects to beat a JMU, to claim that they're the best team in the state of Virginia, to beat ODU like they have previous times, and not to toil around with a UTEP and a New Mexico State. No offense to those programs, but Liberty expects to go back to the year like they had in the Fiesta Bowl and dominate those games.
Yeah, and I'll leave you guys with this question. You know, there's a lot of work that needs to be done clearly, but at the same time, I mean, look around at the place that you're at. You have great support with this staff. You have great facilities around you. You know, what gives you encouragement for Liberty being able to work their way back up to that point?
I think you look at some of the on-field results. They've proven that they can do it. You know, several games, 400, 500 yards of offense, several games where the defense carried this team. So there's demonstrated performance. It's just the consistency that they need to work on. So I feel good that they've put a good product on the field. You mentioned the resources, that helps a ton as well, but now it's just stringing together the consistency.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it too is that there's a lot more parity in CUSA than I believe people give credit for, and I'm not turning that into an excuse, trust me. But at the same time, I'll go back to what I just said a moment ago. I don't think Liberty wants to be kind of like middle of the pack CUSA. They want to be the top of CUSA time in and time out. And again, you have the resources like we mentioned, and I think it just comes down to player development this summer and also being able to identify the right talent to come into your program and make a difference right away. That's the biggest thing, those two areas in my mind coming this summer.
Well, it's going to be an interesting offseason to watch for sure. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here at Flame Central Game Day. Hey, shout out quick to Rhett McGibbon, done a great job hosting the show all season long. Pat Kelly, all of our amazing analysts, and our great crew staying here on this cold night and this entire season, all the work they've put out. The final score here, Kennesaw State 48, Liberty 42. Thanks for spending some of your night with us. See you next time.